Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of 100% You, a podcast which is all about becoming who you truly meant to be and become the best version of yourself. I'm your host, Bari Borel, and today this episode is going to be the fundamentals to the entire podcast and basically the first thing that we need to do in order to come back to ourselves. So I'm very excited to share with you my journey and take you on this extremely beautiful path, and I hope you will find some inspiration in today's episode. And hopefully, you will become part of this little community of 100% you. So, today's episode is actually about the lifelong journey that we must devote in order to become the best version of yourself. Eventually, we all want to be the best we can ever be, but in order to get there, there's something we need to accept that if we don't go with the right mindset, it just will never happen. And I hope in today's conversation, if you never had this kind of mindset, so I hope today's conversation will spark something in you and will make you start looking at life a little bit better. And if you already have this mindset, so that's amazing. And I hope you still will find the joy in in today's podcast. So I have a question for you. Do you believe you can have fulfillment in each and every area of your life? Everything. In your relationships, to have the most beautiful relationships, to be healthy all the time, to have success in each and every area you have in your life, to have the most amazing partner you always dreamed of, to have the best relationship with your family, with your friends, with your coworkers, to have your dream career, to actually have a purpose in this life. Do you feel it's something that it's possible for you? Since I can hear your answer, so I'll give you my answer on that. I actually believe that I can have everything that I ever dreamed of. And it's not something that I was born with. Like it wasn't the mindset that I had as a child. I did grow up with parents that always supported me dreaming big and said that I can achieve everything that I want. But as we grow up and we see people around us, we start um, wondering if everything that we ever wanted actually achievable, because maybe you desire certain things and then you don't see it in your life. So you start thinking to yourself, how is this possible if I want it so badly but I don't have it in my life and other people have it? So I'll take you back to where it all started for me. So, last episode, I told you a little bit about the beginning of my self development journey. It started when I was around 12 years old. I know it's super early. Um, and the first book that I read about self development was The Secret. No surprise, I think almost everyone who went to the self development journey went through this book. I feel it's kind of like the fundamentals to start with, at least like if we go 10 years ago. So I was 14 and my father bought this book and we had it in our house. And I grabbed this book and started reading it. And I remember I was just fascinating with everything that was written there. Okay, and I'll say that for anyone that haven't read The Secret and don't know what it is. So The Secret by Rhonda Biran, I believe that's her name. And basically it's like the core of like how to manifest everything that you want into your life. She said like whatever you think, that's what you will see in your life. And you need to tune your thoughts in order to change your life basically and to change your entire perception about life, and then you can start see different reality. What you believe, it's what you see in your life. So I remember I started reading this book, and there's so many testimonials in this book because the book published after the movie The Secret that Rhonda Byrne published. So I remember reading all the testimonials and going through this book, and I remember I think I read it around 4 times in a row because it was such a big shift for me to understand that I can actually have everything that I want. At that period of my life, I felt I was like at the darkest. For anyone who didn't listen to that previous episode, when I was around 11, 12, my parents divorced. I didn't know where did it, like why it happened. And, you know, the kind of age that um, you also have things in school and friends, and you're a teenager. So it was a really difficult time. I also was bulimic at that period of time. Had really difficult eating disorders. So I remember going back from school and literally counting every day the amount of problems I have in my life. I was like sitting every time I was coming back home, I was crying so badly and start counting like I have this problem and this and this and this, and I'm ugly and I'm this and I'm fat and I don't have friends and we don't have money and we don't I don't know, and all this kind of problems. And why I'm so tall, because I'm super tall. Like, I'm not super tall now. I'm like I'm 1 meter 74 centimeters. I don't know how much it's in feet. I think it's 5'9". Uh, I'm pretty sure it's 5'9", 5'8" maybe. And I was like the tallest girl in class, and also like you know also among the guys in the class. So I had like all these problems, and I was counting them and crying and crying. And I remember there was even a period that I was actually thinking about, like, I don't know, maybe I just like need to die. And I don't know, like I was so depressed. It was about like 1 year, maybe 2 years, that I was really depressed with everything that was going in my life. My relationship with my parents was disaster, and it was really, really dark times, which we all have at some point of our lives. So I was counting my problems every day. I was like, I have more than 20, 30 problems in my life, and I don't know how can I keep this life going, and blah, 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 and all of this. When I read The Secret, it sparked something in me, and I started to believe that I can actually achieve everything that I want. And I remember I was start to be so cautious about all my thoughts that I was having, because I had very like negative talk inside my head, and I started being really scared about the thoughts that I had, because I was like, okay, if my thinking is something that is attracting the kind of things that I'm thinking, so I need to change completely the way that I think, like my mindset completely. And when almost like 95% of my thoughts were very negative, I was with a lot of fear of like I didn't know the term manifest back then, but I was manifesting bad things in my life. So I read this book over and over again. I think I read it around like 7, 8 times, maybe 10 times. And was just one time that I realized that, okay, yes, I can have everything that I want. And I promise myself I'll do my best to every day become a little bit better than the day before. And I promise myself that if it's possible, and since I'm very young, since a very young age, I had very big dreams. So and it felt back then very surreal, like to achieve and accomplish all those dreams. And many of the dreams that I'm so dreaming about haven't like I didn't see them manifested in my life, but that's okay. Like, I know I'll get there. But I had so many dreams, and I just promised myself that I'll do everything I can while I'm living in this planet in order to achieve everything that I want, because I realized that I can. I can achieve everything that I want. And once I realized it, my entire perception about things changed. And this leads me to the mindset. So if you want to become the best version of yourself, eventually, this is like the entire topic of the podcast. You need to know yourself. You need to know who you are, 100% you. And I feel that many people just don't know who they are. So it's kind of hard for them to know what kind of partner they want to attract in their life, what kind of relationships they want in their life, what type of career they want in their life, what do they want to study, where they want to live. Uh, Even like the smallest decision as like, what do I want to eat? And so many more decisions that people just don't know because they don't know who they are. And once people start talking to them about like becoming better and better and the best version of themselves, they're like, whoa, I don't know who am I, so how can I know what would be like the best version of yourself eventually in order to get somewhere and to achieve your dreams. And if you have dreams, and I'm sure everyone has, even like the smallest dream, everyone has dreams. You need, in order to get there, you need to know who you are and be tuned to yourself. So in order to get there, you need to shift your mindset to the kind of mindset that everything that I want is available to me. And I know that I can achieve everything that I want. And I promise myself to devote my entire life to become the best version of myself. And not just like a challenge of 21 days or 60 days of becoming the best version of yourself, because that's a bullshit. Like, becoming the best version of yourself should be a lifelong process and journey. It's something that you must devote your entire life to. And no, it's not hard and frustrating, and it can be, but eventually, once you have something that you devote your life to, things become a little bit more easier. And I know it might, if you're not there, it might sound difficult and like, whoa, devote to something and I need to, it sounds like too much for me. But no, once you tune to that mindset that every day I can become a better version of myself, you perceive life a little bit different. And I believe personally that we're here to evolve, and if you want to stay at your comfort zone and stay, whatever you're doing right now and stay there, you can stay there, but life will keep going. And if you'll not join the ride and evolve with the life, you'll feel stuck at some point. And life will just come and shake you, and you'll have to change and do something in order to change your life. So this is a lifelong journey that you need to understand you're going to do. And why do we need the kind of mindset of I can be the best version of myself, and to think about it? Why does it matter to actually tune to that kind of mindset? So whatever you believe, that's what you will see and experience in your life. And once you have the kind of mindset that I will become better and better every day, you basically shift your mindset and you open yourself to new opportunities that probably you didn't see before because you were stuck in your old mindset that you're good with where you are and you don't think you will get wherever you want. Okay, so I'll give you an example. For example, if you really love to cook and you have a dream, maybe you haven't talked about the dream that you want to have a cooking show and to be an author of many books, best-selling books worldwide, and you want to host a TV show about cooking, and you have like this desire that this is something that you really want. Maybe right now in your life you just cook for yourself or for your friends and for your partner, and that's basically where it ends. You don't really cook any more than that, and maybe you have different completely career right now. So if you will be in the kind of mindset that I want to become the best version of myself. Now, I'll stop for a second again. When I say the best version of yourself, it must align with who you truly meant to be, because you can't be the best version of yourself if you're not who you meant to be. So you must know who you are in order to be the best version of yourself. That kind of always comes together. And I feel that a lot of people just don't understand it. So for example, you don't have a cooking career yet and you really desire and want that, but it feels impossible right now. So if you have this kind of mindset that I want to become the best version of myself every day and do whatever I have. So you have this huge goal and huge desire to have a TV cooking show and be an author and do all this kind of stuff. So you have you have something to look for. You have something to look for, and every time there is an opportunity that you know that maybe slightly can align with that kind of version, you will know that you must step out of your comfort zone and take that step in order to be there. If you have any opportunity that is even a little bit, slightly has the potential to help you to achieve that kind of desire. So if you have the right mindset, you will take that step, even if it's completely scares you and you don't really want to do it. So we said you want to host a TV show about cooking, and let's say you hate cameras and you hate and you're afraid of like being in front of a camera and talk, and you're really bad at communicating stuff, but you're really good cook. So, okay, if there's an opportunity to cook something, of course you will jump on the opportunity because you know you love cooking. But if there's an opportunity to stand in front of a camera and talk, or go to something, or take a course, or take something that takes you out of your comfort zone, and you must start talk and communicate better, maybe you won't agree doing it because you don't have the right mindset of I can achieve everything that I want, and I want to become the best version of yourself. So once you do have that kind of mindset that you want to become the best version of yourself, you know that even though you're really good cook, but you have that kind of desire to host a TV show about cooking. So if there is an opportunity to stand in front of a camera, you will take that opportunity, even though you're gonna really be afraid of doing that. So that the kind of like be the best version of yourself thing. It's small steps that take you every time to the next level. I'll give you my example. So right now I'm recording a podcast in English about a topic that I really love, which is like self-development and becoming the best version of ourselves. And in order for me to sit here and record this podcast, I had such a long journey to come in order to be here. First of all, English is not my native language. And I can tell you that, of course, I have much more to improve, and I hope that in the upcoming years my English will be even better. But it all started from somewhere. Since I have this mindset thing from a really young age that I want to become the best version of myself, I put myself in a situation that maybe made me evolve and become better. And in the past 2 years, I hear so many people asking me, Bari, where did you got this English from? You speak very well. Because I study in English right now in university, and for me, like if you take me even 5 years ago, okay, 5, 6, 7 years ago, my English was horrible. It was completely horrible. But because I don't know, when I was 14, 13, I had this vision that I want to back then my dream was to be a supermodel. Like that was my biggest dream, to be like the top models in the world. And I was like, I'm gonna be, that's also why I had the eating disorders and everything. So I was like, I must know how to speak proper English. And I also had the dream to be an actress, which I still kind of have. I want to be an actress someday. But I have more dreams. So like actress it's not like from my top things right now. So I had this vision, and I knew that I want to do it in, not in Israel, like internationally. So I had this vision that I need to learn English. So when I was younger, instead of listening to, I used to watch YouTube a lot. So instead of watching like Israeli YouTubers, I used to listen only to Americans ones, or Europeans, or people who spoke English. So I started listening more and more English. Then at some point I started reading books in English, and it was super hard for me because, you know, you learn a language. And then I started um, listening to watching movies without subtitles, and try to understand what they're saying. And the first encounter I had with English was when I was 16, and I flew to Canada, and I was in a camp for 1 month. And I remember when we arrived to Canada, and when the people from the camp came to drive us, remember, I froze. Like I couldn't speak English, and it took me, I think, 2 weeks to start actually communicate with people there. At the beginning, I was so confused because I speak also Russian. So I spoke kind of like English, Russian, Hebrew. Also back then I learned French in high school. So like I had all this mix with languages, and I was so shy and so quiet because I couldn't speak. Only the last week I was in Canada, I started somehow, like I had sentences that I start, saying. Then the next encounter I had was when I was 18, no, 20. I met some people from the States and I tried to keep in touch with them. Then I was also, that's a funny story. Like, I dated a lot of people who are English speaking people because for me it was really important to learn English. So I saw opportunity and I took it. Of course, also, I like them, but it was the kind of mindset that I want to jump into the water and speak as much as I can English. And then I flew to Europe for 1 month and I spoke English there. And after that, when I was 21, I worked in sales. And after working 10 months in sales, sales was in Hebrew. I realized that I had the desire to start doing real estate investments in the United States. And I knew that I must improve my English in order to do that. So I was like, okay, before that, I must go and sell in English. So I went to work in high-tech company. I have no clue how they accepted me. My English was horrible, like, period. It was horrible. And I did Zoom calls on English. I wrote emails. It was so hard for me. There was no ChatGPT back then. So I was like actually writing emails and I expanded my vocabulary and it took time. Every opportunity I had, I stepped out of my comfort zone in order to learn this and embrace this language and actually be able to speak English properly. And of course, I have more to go, but I'm here recording a podcast in English. This is something really, um, this is for me something that shows the progress that I had. Also, like recording and talking to a camera. I started recording myself for social media around, I don't know, 10 years ago, 8 years ago. I still don't have like maybe consistency in my social media, but I knew that I want to be some kind of a public figure at some point, an international public figure. So I knew that I must know how to speak properly, how to communicate properly, how to stand in front of a camera. And of course, I still have a lot to learn in order to become who I really want to be. But every opportunity I had, I took. I had the opportunity to take. I did. I learned 1 year act. I took acting classes for 1 year because I knew it's important to know how to stand in front of a camera and talk. Communication. I used to be super shy girl, and today, thankfully, like, I'm super social and I have a lot of friends and I know how to communicate. But it took me time to learn how to communicate ideas that I had because it wasn't something that I just had. I learned it the hard way. So, and also like the entire like self-development for years, I tried, I journal a lot. I read a lot of books. So it's a constantly journey to become the best version of myself. But because I had this type of mindset when I was a teenager, it made me do a lot of things that for me made sense to be on this journey. So just understand that it's a part of a much bigger mindset. If you'll believe that you can achieve everything that you want, but you must, there is going to be challenges. It's going to be difficult at some point, but you must devote your life in order to become the best you can be, and know that at some point you will learn how to achieve everything, and you learn everything. Things start to look a little bit more aligned with your path, even if it looks super messy. And believe me, like, I've done so many things in the past 5, 6 years, and it looks so messy, like my CV right now. If I show it to people, like, they don't understand what I did. But for me, everything makes sense because for me, every opportunity I had to become the best version of myself. And I have this picture of who is the best version of Bari. For me, it makes sense. And every step that I took made sense for me and made me step out of my comfort zone. And I want to also say something super important. A big part of this mindset is wanting the best for other people too. And I feel that this is something that a lot of people missing because, okay, maybe I want the best for myself and maybe for my siblings and maybe for, the closest people around me. But when you have the kind of mindset that everyone can become the best version of themselves, and you see everyone as the potential they have, all the connections you have will shift a little bit because people start feel that you actually see them. And people love to feel seen. And I had this question a few weeks ago. A friend asked me, a new friend asked me, how do I have so many like great connections? And so how do I have so many great connections, so many friends on a deeper level? And it actually made me thinking, why do I have so many deep connections? And I think that one of the answer would be that I see people, like I actually can see someone because I see his potential and I believe in him and I want him to become better. So, and jealousy is a big part of it because many people feel jealous to people that sometimes people don't understand why they get jealous. And if you've done some self-development work, you know that you're jealous because you want that and you desire the thing that the other person has. So when you remove jealousy out of the equation and you just understand that if this person has something that I want, I'm so happy for him and thrilled to get to the point where I have everything that this person has. And I wish for that person to even expand more and have more things in his life that he desire. So once you have that kind of mindset, not only for yourself, but for other people, you will start to feel those little, um, I'll say miracles around you and energy shift that people actually want to help you become better. And when you surround yourself with this kind of environment that everyone wants to become the best version of themselves, life will be a little bit easier and more fun, I believe, to live eventually, because you'll start to look at challenges and things you're going through as the best gift you can have, because you'll step out of your comfort zone multiple times, but every time you do it, you will have a surprise at the end and you'll be like, okay, I love doing it because eventually like I evolve and I become a better version of myself. And after a few years or a few months, you'll see difference in your life and the doors will start open for you because you're making progress and you're walking progress and you do something for yourself. Even if it doesn't make sense for other people, but for you, it does make sense. And I want to touch another point. Some people may think, I hope it's not you, but some people may think it sounds so difficult to try to be the best version of myself and devote my life to it. Like, why can't I just like sit down, enjoy, smoke a cigarette? I don't smoke. Maybe you smoke. I don't know. Smoke a cigarette, have fun, enjoy life. Why do I need to go through this constant like challenges? Like, why can't I just enjoy life? And those kind of people missing something. It's the short term reward when you're deciding to enjoy your life right now and be in awe with what you have and just, just have fun and don't work on yourself. That eventually will ruin I don't want to say ruin your life because it's not something that, like if you do this, it will ruin your life. But most of the time, you will find yourself far behind where you wanted to be. And when time pass, it will be harder to get back on track. And you might feel lost because you don't really know who you are. And if you know who you are, that's amazing, but it will be much harder. And the kind of mindset of becoming the best version of yourself doesn't have to be like so difficult. It's not some, and the path of becoming the best version of yourself, it's actually very exciting. It's something that is joyful. Like I enjoy my life. I have fun. Like I had a talk with my friend a few months ago and I told her like I'm happy. I'm happy and I have like the most amazing life and I have tons of challenges in my life. Okay? It's not that I don't have challenges. I have so many challenges. I have so many things going on in my life specifically right now. But still I find the peace and happiness every day because I know that I'm like on the right way. Like I know that I'm like building the life that I want. And This for itself is the most rewarding, the most rewarding thing that you can feel. This endless happiness that you feel every day, every challenge you have, I'm like happy. And this type of things we'll talk about later on the podcast, about like being present and being positive and how to approach challenges. We'll have like entire episode about it because it's a huge topic. But you can be happy and still be, like, of course you will be happy when you become the best version of yourself, and also if you go on this journey. So I don't take this excuse of I want to enjoy now, because that's bullshit. That's just being, I don't know, lazy and don't want to become better. And that sucks. Like if it's possible to become, to have everything that you want, why not try? Why not try even to do and be that kind of person? So if we would conclude everything, once you have the mindset of becoming the best version of yourself, you start to attract different opportunities in your life, because you start viewing the life a little bit different, and the universe, God, whatever you believe in, want to help you to become that kind of version. And what you're focusing on, that's eventually what will expand. So if you're focusing on becoming better version of yourself, you will have the opportunities to become better version of yourself and to expand and become better and feel yourself. But remember, it's a lifelong journey, and it's not something that you can just snap and that's it. Like, I'm the best version of myself after like the 100 challenge days that I made. No, like it takes time. And yeah, challenges are fun. I love doing challenges. And I'm gonna do a challenge very soon. So stay tuned. But it's not something that once you end the challenge, you are the best version of yourself. It's a lifelong journey. And you might be a better version of yourself in 100 days, but you must remember that it's a mindset. It's a mindset that you must go with in order to open new opportunities for you. So this is for me the fundamentals on 100% you, to start with the right mindset. On the next episodes, we're going to talk more about how to tune to yourself, how to know who you are, how to craft the best version of yourself, talk a little bit about purpose. We're going to have so many amazing episodes coming on this podcast, and I really hope you're going to enjoy it. For next week, I encourage you to start, see, and look at your thoughts and what kind of mindset you have around becoming the best you. If you feel, once I say that you can achieve everything that you want, you feel a little bit skeptical, you're the kind of person who need to sit down and start to actually write down or think, what mindset do you have around achieving everything that you want? What kind of mindset you have around becoming the best version of yourself? Because if you don't know what type of mindset you have, that will be hard to tune to yourself and know who you are. So I encourage you to try, sit down and start thinking about what kind of mindset you have around the dream life that you want, about feeling 100% you and know who you are, period. That's the first exercise that I will give you. And the second exercise I will give you, we're actually going to do it now. And I want you to close your eyes. I don't know where you are right now. I hope you in a comfortable room. Maybe you're walking, maybe you're listening to it when you're driving somewhere. But I want to think about the best version of yourself. What type of person are you? What types of relationships do you have in your life? What type of career do you have in your life? How's your everyday looks like? What is the dream partner you have in your life? Or if you have a partner right now and you love him so much or love her so much, is there anything missing in the relationship that you would really want to have in that relationship? What is your dream house looks like? How would you want to feel every day in your life? How would you want to wake up? How would you want to go to sleep? And what if I can tell you that you can achieve all of it? You can achieve all of it and have the most beautiful life, and every dream that you ever had will manifest in your life. And if there is one dream that didn't manifest, you will manifest even better things in your life. How does make you feel? Do you feel skeptical about it, or do you believe it's possible for you? What type of mindset do you need in order to be that version of you? What if I tell you that in order to be that version of you, you might have challenges? You might have to step out of your comfort zone from time to time. But what if I promise you that once you do it and you get out of your comfort zone and you overcome those challenges, you will have even better life than you ever thought you will have and desired? Would you pass on this opportunity? Will you stay in the life that you have right now? Or will you go on this journey of becoming the best version you can ever be? That's your choice. Each one of us is the pilot of our own journey. And I hope that each and every episode will spark something in you. Even if there's things that you already know, because eventually we all channels and we all get the information maybe from different places that you learned, that you heard, that you read, and maybe it's just from, experience things on yourself and you just know stuff. But sometimes those kind of conversations are just a reminder and here to connect us to the energy that we hope and want to have each and every day. So I hope you will have the most incredible week and the most incredible day. And try to notice any things in your life and try to notice everything you have in your life. Is it aligned with the version you want to be, or is it not? And try to see what feels good for you and what doesn't feel good for you. We have the choice eventually, and we can form the life that we want. But we need to start be specific and conscious about what makes us feel good and what doesn't make us feel good. What type of people we want in our life and what type of people just don't do good with us. So start practicing those kind of stuff. And I hope to see you next time. And if you love this podcast, feel free to share and to comment and to let me know what do you like to hear more and if there's anything you resonate with. And thank you for watching. See you next week. Bye.